We'll now recognize the gentleman from Pennsylvania who for 57 years he and his family have been small business people. I think that comes out to be since 5 years old. He's been a small businessman for 5 minutes. Mr. Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And first of all, I want to thank all the panel for being here. And it's interesting to get a lesson from people that are running a business that's $1.5 trillion in the red each year, year after year. And I'm sure you're going to take that home and really learn from that. But for people that really do have the skin in the game, and people who do survive by doing it on both knees and looking into the abyss, I've done it myself, and I know how close we come each day to not having our businesses anymore. So would you please, if you could, just take a few minutes, because the true trick is not pulling a rabbit out of the hat, it's putting the rabbit in the hat to begin with. And I think that this body needs to understand that where small business comes from, where business comes from, is not from government, is from the private sector. Mr. Boucher, I know what you're going through. I go through the same thing. My business is down over 35%. Mr. Friedrich, I understand what it's like to look into the abyss. I've done it many times myself. The magic hours, the bewitching hours, which most members of Congress have never had to face because they don't sign the front of these checks, is between 2 and 4 in the morning, when your body may be fatigued, but your mind won't let you sleep. So if you could, just walk us through some of the things that you've had to do to keep your businesses open, keep jobs alive for people in your community, and what you have to do. So each, if you could just take a few minutes and maybe educate us on what we need to hear and what the country has to hear from the people who truly do lead this country, and that is the small business people.
I guess one of my largest experiences last year was an order for my company to bid public work and continue to receive bonding because of the previous year being extremely poor. I had to financially put additional six-figure dollars into the business so I could secure bonding, which again allowed us to bid those jobs but prevented us from replacing trucks, from replacing bending equipment, things like that that we should have to be more efficient and be on top of our game. It's just been a real tough battle to survive the problems. And the regulations being slapped on us, in all honesty, I respect what's being said, and I'm not anti-safety or anti-anything like that. I just think it needs to be done as a team and not as someone telling you, here's what you're going to do and here's what you have to do, and there's no explanation for reasons why.
Well, you'll laugh when you hear this, but one of the things that I've done is I built I call it the penthouse in our plant. And I live 70 miles from our facility. Our facility's in Manitowoc, and I live in Fond du Lac. So I leave on Monday morning from home, and I stay in our plant every night, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night, and I go home on Fridays. And I used to stay at in the fashionable Comfort Inn, but that's $70 a night, and that adds up. So now I'm living large. I got a bed, I got a recliner, I have a 36-inch flat screen TV, and I sleep in the plant with my dog. Monetarily, the hardest thing for any business is cash flow. When you run out of cash flow, you're dead. You can't go anywhere. And I would hear talking about the recovery. We need to get the banks to lend money so companies can make payroll and hire people. If you have to borrow money to make your payroll, you're dead, usually. Maybe there are rare occasions, but you're dead. So there have been times when I have had, and when we first started, I said we closed our business 1 month after 9/11, and we went into a recession, and we almost went out of business. And we would have had we not been with a privately held bank who knew us. He knew us as people. And we weren't going to run away from it. And we never missed an interest payment or a principal payment, but we lost money. And there were many times when I would have to write a check on my personal savings to cover payroll. I had to do it. Or I'd have to pay a supplier, because there are some suppliers, you guys don't know this, but there are some suppliers which can kill you and others which you can push off. We always push off like attorneys and accountants and and those guys, because really they're not going to get anything from us anyway unless we stay in business. But raw material suppliers, no, can't do it. people who provide, you have to pay your taxes, you have to pay all your employment taxes. Well, you don't do that, you go to jail. And we can't print any money. I mean, like you guys, we can't turn on the press and print some money.
Not all you guys, okay?
Okay, like some of you.
I'm with you.
Anyway, so it's, and somebody asked a question, would you do it all over again? You said no. I would. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's like a great rush every day. It's full of frustration, but I love it, and I wouldn't do anything else.
Well, God bless you for what you're doing. I understand. I got 110 people that rely on me to make sure that every 2 weeks they can cash a check, so I'm with you.
Good.